Welcome back to another episode of Slot Rods. I started this car a while ago. This is the Ferrari 458, the Dunlop model, number 66. When I first started it, I thought I had a light set that would fit this car, but when I took it apart, I realized that I did not. The 458s have a very specific light set that has a different PCB board, and I could not find any to fit it. I had to delay this video until I could do something. I messed around with my 3D printer. I eventually came up with something that would work for the front. I have some still images that I'll show you of various things I tried. But this is what eventually worked. The 3D printed mount for the front lights works just fine. The rear was the problem. I even removed the wires from the rear set of lights I had to run in a longer wire to give me more room. And I tried a bunch of different options with the 3D printer, but whatever option I came up with, the body, when I would try to put the body on, I couldn't get it. Originally, these cupped pieces here, the bulb LED would sit in that, and there was like a U-shaped piece that held those, and I could not really, with the way the PC boards are and building something to go in there, I tried the front, I tried the back, and I always had trouble with body clearance. So eventually I just had to hot glue the little PC boards to the risers here, and that's worked out fairly well. But this was an Evolution car, so I had to chip it and the lights and everything, but I have a bunch of those, and that's the way it had to go. Another thing I noticed about this model is the front tires. If you can look, they really set, you really have a lot of ground clearance at the front, which is not what I'm used to with a lot of the Carrera cars. And the wheels are so big that you can't, especially with the Carrera tires. These tires don't sand well. They sometimes melt as you try to sand them. And even if you could, there's no, you still have wheels that you'd be riding on. So it's got a very high front ride, which seems to cause it to de-slot a lot easier. The only way I could imagine fixing that would be getting a smaller sized wheel for the front. I would have to replace the wheels, go with a much smaller wheel, and then I could get that front riding lower. Or I could, if I can find a 3D chassis, I can just do a full rebuild, but that's a lot just for this car, so I'd probably just go with the wheels. But let's put the body back on and have a good look at it. So the body's back on, and here it is, the number 66 Ferrari 458 Dunlop. One of the nicer looking 458s they put out, I think. It's the only one I have, and the only one I really liked. You know, yellow, the British flag, the iconic Dunlop emblem. Could have done without the tire marks on the hood, but it still looks pretty good. Typical Ferrari rear end. Nice detail on the motor. Really do like the layout with the British flag. For the, as you can see, this is a not the digital. It's the 27399. but I've already got the rear tires on it. Those again were Paul Gage tires. I believe they're the 20126 LM tires. I think these are the ones I used here. But I've already put them on and trued them up. I sanded the fronts down just a little bit just to make sure they're perfectly round. But you always have to be careful because they start to melt a little. So you never know if they're going to do that melting or not. But it's a chore, but it's worth it just to keep the car from bouncing. But we will put it on the track, and then we'll give her a good lap. Like I said, I've noticed because of the ride height up front, it does deslot a lot easier than other cars. And I'll just have to see what I can do to fix that in the future. But we'll put her on the track and have a look. So we're back at the track with the Dunlop Ferrari 458, doing this a second time. I'm not sure what happened. I did the car a while ago. I did all the unboxing and the light stuff, and then I did the track, and then I had to leave for a while, and I came back, started going through my old footage, getting ready to do some of these cars that I'd already done footage for, and the track video is all gone, so we're gonna have to do it over again. It put up a great time when I first did it, a flat 6, well, almost a flat 6.074 seconds, but we are going to run it again here for the video, and we'll see how, if she does nearly as well as she did the last time.
3, 2, 1, go!
Well, that's not a good... right, so we'll take a look at the big board, see what we got here. So we can see she did not run nearly as good as the last time, 6.5. And down over there you can see when I ran it the other day, well, when I first did this, it was a 6 flat. So she did not perform as well today, which is kind of befuddling. Not sure why, but I still love the car, the new lights and everything. She looks wonderful, so I'm more than pleased with it. But we'll put the original time into the spreadsheet, which it's probably already there, and then we'll bring that up and have a look and see where it lands.
All right, so here we are at the spreadsheet. The initial run, when I did it the first time, you can see it clocked in at 7 with just a touch over 6 seconds. The lap we did on camera came in at 6.5, a little slower, had a little bit of slotting issues, but I did a little testing after the recording, and because it was really slow on the acceleration and some other things. And I think the motor's going bad. It had just, the torque on it was just like gone compared to other cars, compared to the way it was earlier. So I think there's a motor issue there, and in the future I'll take that motor out and replace it. But I think that's a big cause for why we were seeing the lap times get worse on it. But that'll do it for this episode. Thanks for watching.